Hello and welcome to the fourth lecture. That is, I will be discussing the third weakness of GRE, which is reading comprehension. I have been discussing on common GRE and TOEFL weaknesses, and this is the third lecture of that series. Reading comprehension is one of the most intimidating sections for the students, but on the contrary to that, on balance, it's also one of the most important sections in the verbal section, because a lot of questions, almost half of the questions of verbal come from reading comprehension or passages, or RC as we call it. So here I will discuss about just 3 strategies, avoiding using the word tricks or tips, because those sound fancy and sometimes they do not help at all. Rather, I'm talking about some practical strategies that will actually help you to get a decent score in this section. So the first strategy is that you should learn to summarize the whole passage in a sentence that can be obtained by reading a lot of passages out of your comfort zone. One of the strategies regarding to that could be you should skim through the entire passage, not avoiding anything, to get a quick summary of a passage. And you will get habituated to it very easily if you learn how to handle large passages. And you can get a lot of large passages from GRE Big Book or other resources. And you should always take short notes by hand, because that's how you can categorize your information into different parts. You can categorize the paragraphs in a passage, and you will know beforehand where to return to answer a specific question. And emphasizing summarizing, because summary can be of many forms, and almost invariably one question on summarizing the passage will be there for every passage. For example, they can ask for the gist or the author's viewpoint or the main idea or the passage, something like that. And also I'm suggesting you to skim through the entire passage, because almost always deliberately in the middle of a passage there will be a trigger or a change of direction of the passage. So that's why, in order to get the correct summary of a passage, you should skim through the entire passage before starting to answer the questions. The strategy 2 is kind of subtle. You should ignore your prior knowledge on a subject topic, and you should only use the explicit information given in that passage. You should not assume anything. You should not be worried if something is written in the passage that goes contrary to your belief or what you know. And you should not infer anything from implicit information. Rather, what is explicitly mentioned in the passage, you should only consider that information. And strategy 3 is avoid mistakes. How do we avoid the mistakes? Well, there are 3 to 4 options, or there could be more options in each question, and you should never ever answer by reading only the first option or a couple of first options, even if it seems that you have got the correct answer, because sometimes a portion of that option would be correct, but it may not cover the entire circumference of the passage. Or there could be multiple portions of an option, and 2/3 of it of that could be correct, but 1/3 could be incorrect. In that case, the entire option is incorrect. So you should avoid this kind of mistakes, which are very common in RC. If this video is useful for you, please subscribe. Thanks.